because I want to get into this, and I think, you know, I love talking about the transfers, but this really has got me, it's really got me going. This has got me going. There's 3 things I want to go through, and I just want to get into this. Let's just go, because you know what? I don't know where people are. Maybe some people can move on very, very quickly. They can look at last season and go, it's over now. We've got Erik ten Hag. Let's look to the future. I can't. I can't, because you know what? Manchester United means a lot to me. The history of this club means a lot to me. Why I support it, the good times we've had, the bad times we've had. You know, look, we lost the title a few times. West Ham, 95. Obviously, Aguero, 2012. There are others. I didn't turn on the players because they didn't win it. You know, that can happen. But Belgian, welcome to my members club. But last season was the worst I've ever seen. I just don't like that quote. It's not a quote. I don't like that. I don't like the substance of that at all. If we can get Champions League next season, do you think we would have a chance of getting Bellingham, says it's? I mean, look, yes, we would have a chance of getting Bellingham, but I would imagine other clubs would have bigger chances. But look, I can't talk to you about next season. I've got to talk to you about now. So let me just read this to you, and I'll tell you what my problem is, and you can tell me yours. Erik ten Hag has told individuals that a miserable season last year does not make them bad players, and that aside from those who have already made it clear they want out, they will all be given a clean slate during the pre-season. So the way that reads is that Erik ten Hag has basically said to the entire squad that you will get a second chance, and just because you had a bad season last year, it doesn't make you a bad player. You know what that says to me? Glazonomics. You know what that says to me? This is Man United doing it on the cheap again, because I'm telling you now, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Pep Guardiola, Thomas Tuchel and Jurgen Klopp, no way in a million years would they say to a team that had performed as bad as that last year, you've got another chance. This is something I'm worried about, and I might be completely wrong, and I might be in the minority, but I'm going to tell you what I think, because I think you have to be honest. When I read that, it makes me angry. When I read that, it makes me angry with the Glazers. Because when I read that, I think back to Erik ten Hag's first press conference, and he said it on his second, and he said, this team finished second a year ago, there's a lot of potential in it. And I'm just worried. And this is why what we spend this year and what the net spend is, if it's low, I'm going to say we've got another puppet here. I think he's a brilliant manager, but what has he agreed to? Because if it is about getting the best out of what we've got, I know, I've watched this team, those players cannot be trusted and do not deserve to be trusted. You cannot have what we had last year. Players literally downing tools, not giving a toss about that badge, because all they're really interested in is a manager they don't like, or players they don't like, or why they're not playing. And they were an absolute shambles last year, a disgrace as professionals. Not all of them should be getting a clean slate. And that bothers me, because that basically says, if you want to stay at this club, you can have another chance. Bullshit. This is Manchester United. We're not a charity. We have standards. The standards are very clear in this club. You cannot just say to everybody, I'm a new manager, you've all got a new chance. You've got another chance. You've got to. It's lazy. That's why I don't believe it. I don't believe it. In no way am I anti-Ten Hag. You know I like Ten Hag. You know I want him to do well. But I can't for the life of me imagine a manager walks in and says to everybody, you've got another chance. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And you don't want to know why it's bullshit? Because Aaron Wan-Bissaka's up for sale. Brandon Williams is up for sale. Alex Telles is up for sale. They're not players who want to go. So I don't believe that, because no manager would walk in with no research on last season and go, you've all got a new chance with me. You've all got a new chance with me. It just doesn't make any sense. So you know what? I call bullshit. I don't believe it. I do not believe a competent manager, knowing what happened last year, would walk in and say, don't worry about last season. It's a brand new start. And if they did, they're going to learn very, very quickly that there's going to be a lot of players in there that aren't good enough. So look, I don't know what people think, but I actually don't believe it, and I don't think those sort of comments are going to help people. Second chance for all, no way. Erik ten Hag only needs to look at a few videos from last season to see McFred, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Magaluf simply ain't good enough, says Graham. Welcome to the Members Club, Midge. After stopping to think about that Ten Hag quote, he's got no other choice, really. He has to work with these players, get them on side, even short term, says Nick P. People called me a fool for wanting Poch. Ten Hag has no knowledge of any player outside Ajax or the Dutch League. The Poch Brigade still lives, says Rash. Do you think United will try any freeze loans if the 120 million budget is true? Think the second chance is all new manager talk. Yeah, I think the new manager has to be nice to everybody. I do agree with that. Sean says, I don't believe that's Ten Hag saying that. What you said last night is spot on. We can't get rid of the deadwood because of high wages and the Glazers don't want to take a hit. And Kia says, all I want to see this season is a change in attitude and style of football. Way too many players strolling around and Bruno throwing fits. We've got to get serious. Look. Some players will get a second chance. I'm not saying that all shouldn't. Welcome to the Members Club, Simeon. We won't be giving you charity in the Europa League final, says Zane. And do you think United would... we've read that one. And Jivan says, I just watched Anthony's passing range. I really hope he really comes in. Ronaldo will truly enjoy his presence. I think Ronaldo and Anthony would work really, really well. You said last summer you want to conduct a CDM. Frankie says his best attribute is taking on the ball from the back four and building. Swivel on it, you prat. Barry, you can't beat me in an argument, I'm afraid, because you're a prat. And I don't need to send anything other to you than facts. Frankie de Jong has never said his best position is a CDM conducting the play. Frankie de Jong factually is brilliant at creating and carrying the ball. Erik Ten Hag does not play with a CDM that plays deep conducting. He plays a high line with his back four and he plays two midfielders who dictate the press. So educate yourself in football before you start talking about Frankie de Jong being Nemanja Matic, dropping in between our centre-backs on the edge of the box and conducting the play. Ten Hag can't say to the players they are crap if they can't sell all of them. That's how it works, says Nabil. Maybe it's a polite way of saying you're on thin ice. I'm considering selling you. Prove me wrong why I shouldn't sell you, says Dan. And so what do you want? Sell 15 and buy 10? No team has managed to clear out half of their squad in one window. Stop having unattainable goals, says Akshay. Rashford clearly down tools and took strolls with no effort. He turned his back on the fans with that performance. We won't forget, says Mohammed. A lot of people asking me questions here. What do I want? I've told you what I want. I want 10 people out and I want 6 people in. 5 have gone already. 5 more need to go. 6 need to be signed. It's not actually unachievable because 5 walked out the door for free. You sell 5, you buy 6. That's what you do. It's not unachievable. And if it's unachievable, it's because of the Glazers. I will judge this summer transfer window on August the 31st. And if our net spend is less than 120 million... then this club has fucked over the fans again. And they're on trial. They're on trial. It's as simple as that. Let's see what they do. There's no point in talking about anything else. We can all get excited about Malacia and de Jong. We can all hope we're going to get Anthony and a centre-back and maybe a midfielder. But we will find out at the end of August what happens. Worst case scenario, we only buy 3 or 4 players and we keep a load of shit. Best case scenario, we clear some of this shit out. And when I talk about the shit, that's a harsh word. But I will tell you this. I don't think these players are shit. They're deadwood. Eric Bailly, Phil Jones, Axel Tuanzebe, Brandon Williams, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Alex Telles. Dean Henderson's already gone on loan. Like, those 7 players have to go. They're just not part of the future of Manchester United. They have to go. If a lot of those players are still here next season, then this manager has signed a contract to work with what he's got. And that's my fear. I don't mind if he's done that. It's up to him what contract he signs. But we can't sign another manager that's going to just work with what he's got. I said it years and years and years. Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Thomas Tuchel can't win a title with that squad. So how can Erik Ten Hag do it with 1 or 2 additions? Mark, I bet you'll enjoy it more. Erik Ten Hag turns McTominay into prime Busquets more than Anthony scoring 15 goals next season, says Remy. I'm hoping for a busy next couple of days so I can celebrate more than just the 4th of July this weekend. Thanks for everything you do, Mark, says Ivan. Thanks, Ivan. Hello, Mark. I agree with you 100%. These players down tools against our biggest rivals, Liverpool, without even giving a crap on what a game against Liverpool means to us as supporters, says Tishu. Look, you know what? I think it's really important to say this. And look, there's another quote, by the way. You can start reading this while I talk and then I'll bring up the next one. But the genius of football is that everybody has different opinions. The genius of football is that we don't have to agree. And the genius about football is that we can be really resolute on our opinions. I look at last season and it hurts now. I was so fed up with that team that when it was being beaten by Palace and Brighton at the end of the season, I wasn't even ranting anymore because we'd been that shit all season. I mean, think about it. Watford, Leicester, Brighton, Liverpool. The amount of times we got embarrassed last year and the amount of times these players weren't even playing at 50% of their capability. I mean, I was looking at some of our players. They were literally not trying. They were absolutely crap. Erik ten Hag has my full support and he's going to need every fan's full support. But those players, you don't just rock back into pre-season with a smile on your face and start trying and expect the fans to just be behind you again. You've got to go and do it 10, 20 games in a row. I'm sure they'll be great against Brentford and Brighton, and I'm sure we'll have a good August. I'm convinced about it. But will we have a good September and October? These players owe this fan base bucket loads. You think about those fans who are up early in the morning, travelling over on the ferry or on the plane to watch United week in, week out, paying money, giving up weekends, giving up family events, following the club they love. They did that week in, week out last season. Fans around the world getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, giving up their time for the club they love. And I say giving up their time, they're not giving up their time. This is something they love. And those players didn't for 1 minute think about those. They didn't even think about professional pride, let alone those fans that love this club. You don't just switch that off. You don't just go, last season was a bad season.